Welcome to Grey County Life. I'm JC Coutts, joined not by Sarah Carmichael this week, a familiar face though for fans of Grey County Life, Mary Jane Murray. Welcome.
Oh, well, thank you. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be second chair today. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, Sarah is away this week, and so I asked Mary Jane to be here. Rhonda's here too. She's behind the camera, so it is a full reunion today. We're just in different places. But I did want to ask you, since you're going to be here this week, about a show that you've started on Rogers TV here called Our Story, Stories That Unite Us. Tell us about this show and the idea that you had to bring this to Rogers TV.
Well, the concept of Our Story was actually an offshoot of the story that a show that I was doing called Her Story, The Journey to Winning a Seat at the Table, which now Tiffany James is hosting, which she's doing such a fabulous job. But I also want to say that you and Sarah are doing a fabulous job because I watch your show too. But the stories only included women, and I wanted to bring a wider audience and more voices from our community, and that includes all genders in our community. So that was really important. And I spoke with Richard E. Sadowski. He's hosting the show. I am the community producer, and we wanted a show that with 7-minute personal stories. There's always some kind of connection that you can make to another human being when you have a 7-minute personal story. There's just some emotion that comes up. And so we put this together. We were also thinking that sometimes in our community, there's not always an understanding of the other. And hearing those stories can bring a wider understanding. We really wanted our community to see the humanity in others, because we do have a diverse community, and we wanted those voices to have an outlet in our show. And of course, you were a guest on Our Story when we did the launch at the library, and your wonderful story about your journey across Ontario through radio. And that was really fun. I watched that again. I loved the show when I could view it on the website on Rogers TV. So you can just go to the website and see the already shows that have been produced. And we have a new taping session coming up towards the end of March. And we'll have more storytellers coming on. But it's the eclectic message that is coming through. So we have gratitude and persistence and the big goof up and the journey and beating the odds. And now we're going into new beginnings, the road trip, belonging. But we also have, people can choose a story that is important to them. And when you hear a heartfelt story from another person, you can start to make those connections. And the stories are amazing.
There's one thing that I was a little intimidated about when you asked me to be a part of it, and I think it's something that people shouldn't be intimidated about, but I sat down and I went, what makes my story any better than anybody else's? Like, I know that there were some examples you said, and I'm watching stories of people that survived a health scare or they created an invention that changed everyone's life, and it's like, so I talked in a microphone, but how does that make that special? But then you realize, I think, especially when you sit down and write out your story, that okay, there's a message here that maybe I can convey this, and maybe someone will connect with the fact that you have to, in my case, pick up and venture out and take risks in order to have success, and sometimes it's scary. So maybe that's part of what I tried to get through, but I think people shouldn't be intimidated to tell stories, because every story is unique and you never know how someone is going to connect with it.
Exactly. And one of the things that I liked about your story in particular was that you talked about not only the good things that were happening, but you talked about, well, I got fired.
That's true.
how many people can identify with that? And then how you picked yourself up. And then there was another incident too where you were replaced or you were made redundant and you had to start over again. And how do you pick yourself up and keep moving? The other thing too with that is some people can become quite defeated if they've been fired or if they've been made redundant or if they've lost their job in some capacity. And it's a message of hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And on so many of the stories for our story are messages of hope.
Mm-hmm.
We had 3 storytellers, very, very different. And at the end, every single one of them in their story said, but I've landed on my feet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that it's to you, it's a very important thing to have a platform for people to tell their stories locally, because we were talking off the air before the show that these platforms are starting to disappear in some places.
Oh, Rogers TV is such an anchor. It's so important in our community to be able to inform everyone in our community in terms of what's happening, not only with the special events that are happening, but also with information that keeps a community attached to each other. And I am saddened to see that those opportunities are shrinking in our province and perhaps even across Canada. And so I am a very strong proponent of keeping local stations being able to give out news and information to community members.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're so happy that you're a volunteer here and you contribute to so many great shows, including the newest one, Our Stories, which air on Tuesday nights, I believe, here on Rogers TV, and are available online on the website as well.
That's right. But I watch everybody's shows. I watch your show.
That's true.
I watch Tiffany's show. I watch Lois and Diane.
That's right.
I mean, and you know, those shows are all really important. Rogers TV does a good job. I'm hoping people will tune in. Go to their website.
All right, well, stay tuned on this episode of Grey County Life, because we do have a busy show. We're going to be chatting with representatives from the Kiwanis Club. They've got an upcoming turkey roll event that we're going to learn more about. Also joining us this week, we'll learn more about a ball hockey tournament for Brightshores Health Services coming up. And Renee's going to be here with another adoptable animal from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter. It's all this week on Grey County Life. Stay tuned.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Our family used to be so fun. Now my brother takes care of me. I miss Mom and Dad being around more. Mom says things are going to get better.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy are birth alerts, a racist practice that may stop this Indigenous mother from going home with her newborn. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
I'm number 24, Tays Jordan.
And number 21, Harry Nancy.
Tune in to Attack Rap
on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. My name is JC Coutts. Mary Jane Murray is here, and our guests today, we have Linda Van Elst and Eric Krause of the Kiwanis Club of Owen Sound. Do you guys have official titles? We were just saying that you're past everything with the club.
Yeah, I don't know. Were you a past president?
Two times and past lieutenant governor. So
Yeah, so that's
yeah.
the title. I'm a past president and a couple board members for a few years and
Yeah.
a few terms, I should say.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's about it. Yep. Yeah, we've been around a bit for a lot of years.
That doesn't really sound good, Eric.
Well, with Kiwanis.
I understand it's 92, the 92nd anniversary of the Kiwanis Club?
No.
Or of the
Music festival. We're going to be celebrating our 100th anniversary of the Owen Sound Kiwanis Club. Is it next year or the year after?
Yeah, I think it's next year, actually, I think.
I should know because I'm co-chair of that committee, so I really should know.
Well, you both look terrific for your age.
Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing, you know, how much work has been done by the Kiwanis Club. And I've always said, I can't imagine any community without a service club, because service clubs do so much for the area that they're in. Makes a huge difference. So we wanted to talk about our big latest venture, our upcoming fundraiser that we're doing for the Kiwanis Music Festival. And the reason that we're doing this is because music festival is like everything else. Costs have gone up, so you know they have to pay for the adjudicators to come, and they get excellent adjudicators. All the costs that go with that. Some venues are free, others charge, because again, everybody has expenses. So we're hoping to raise $15,000 to go for bursaries towards kids that want to enter the music festival. Because again, the cost isn't really that high, and I don't know what they are now, but you have to register, and then you might have to buy extra music. There's the lessons that family have, and so this is going to go towards helping the families. And if you can imagine, if you have a family, we already heard today on the news how food prices are going up and people are scraping by. So if you have 1 or 2 or 3 children that want to enter the festival, and it's such a great experience for them, this extra money is going to be able to help them. It will go towards those costs.
And so the event that you're going to be hosting to raise money, it's a turkey roll? Is that right? What is it? What is a turkey roll? Because I know a turkey roll at the grocery store is one thing, but are people going to be rolling turkeys? What's going to be happening?
Bowling.
No, we were planning on that. We were going to do that, and then we decided too much liability there. So it's basically a fundraiser where members of Owen Sound and area come and gather together, maybe have a couple drinks. They purchase a number of tickets, and then there's a big spinning wheel, which is going to be going constantly for people to win prizes. And the turkey rolls, so frozen turkeys, frozen hams. And then there was a third prize, I think, on the big side.
Third prize, I was going to say gift baskets, but since I'm helping to wrap them the week before, they may not all be baskets, but there will be another, you have the opportunity to win another gift. So what happens is you pay, it costs you $5 for your admission, and it's at the Legion, and the doors open at 6:30. Your ticket, your admission ticket, also gives you the opportunity to win door prizes. And then they start spinning. So the tickets for each spin are $1. So you buy a ticket, spin the wheel, first spin goes around whichever number it lands at. If you have that lucky number, you win the turkey. If not, they'll spin again. They do 3 spins until those 3 prizes are won. So turkey, ham, and then the other item. So it goes continually. It's going to be a very busy night. Very busy. When those spins are over, then you can go buy another ticket for $1 for the next one. We're also having raffle tickets and tables. I don't know if you want to talk about the raffle tables, because you've donated some really great prizes.
Yeah, so we've got 2 levels of raffle tables, and this is, again, just adds to the activity and the enjoyment and the energy in the room. So as the tickets are sold, there's a lower value table. So a $30 to $50 value. There'll be something for everyone there. Then there are larger ticket tables, ticket items. So Crouse Mechanical is donating a heat pump. McKinnon Heating and Cooling is donating an air conditioner. We have a donor for some NHL tickets. And these tickets can be had, I think the price is $3. So you can win one of the large things for the low cost of $3. And then you have smaller prizes, and then you have the turkeys, and it's just a constant spinning wheel all the time, and people having fun, and there'll be alcohol at the being available there at the Legion.
And pizza.
And pizza. Well,
Pizza free. So,
Alcohol and pizza. What more do you need?
No,
I know.
This is Owen Sound. Come on down.
You know, great county. And for the raffle tables, so they're going to be kind of like a bucket draw, and everybody's familiar with those. So you buy so many tickets, and I actually can't remember because we tossed the price around so many times, but it's not that expensive. So, for instance, say that beautiful necklace that you're wearing there, Mary Jane, if that was one of the items on the raffle ticket, and being me, I would really want that. I would put all my raffle tickets into that bucket, hoping that mine got pulled out. But you could go around and put them in whichever one you want. And as I said, it's all to support kids going into the Kiwanis Music Festival.
Well, one of the things you didn't mention is the date.
March 2nd. Yes, that's very good.
We need to have that on the calendar.
March 2nd. And also, you know, we would really appreciate any donations that anyone can give us. If you're not a business, but an individual, and you want to contribute, you can donate $40 and we'll put your name. We have a whole bunch of little turkeys that we have on a board. So we'll put your name on a turkey to say that that's how you sponsored towards it. So it should be a fun night.
And if there's still businesses that might be watching this right now and they want to get on board, what's the best way for them to reach out and get in touch with you?
Any member of the Kiwanis Club. We also have our club room at Heritage Place Mall. So it's open quite a lot. People can pop in there. In fact, we were having a meeting a week or so ago, and a gentleman came in already to see if he could get a ticket, and they weren't quite printed yet. So
that's one thing, is we need the door tickets. So they're available. They're going to be available at the door. And again, any member of Kiwanis, you know, reach out and we'll find some tickets available for you. We have a great.
You can go into Higher Right downtown, and they will have them, and also our club room, which I said there's somebody there a lot of the time, so you can get them there as well.
Yep, we'll have a couple at Crows Mechanical.
There's the tickets at the door are $5.
Yes.
So what I'm hearing is that this could be an evening that doesn't have to be really expensive, but you could still go out and have a good time. And you pay $5 at the door, and then every time you want that wheel to spin, you can pay $1.
That's right.
And then you can go to the gift tables, and you can choose whether the lower value one or the higher value one. So what you've really done is you've made this really affordable for so many families in our community. What a great way of setting up a fundraiser.
So. Yeah, we think so. And, you know, it's just before Easter. So if you're lucky enough to win your turkey or ham, then you've already got your food for Easter. Ooh. Yeah.
And I know the Kiwanis Club likely has a lot of members that are going to be helping out with this event, helping to run the event, but do you still need any additional help, any volunteers to make it a successful event?
Actually, it's pretty exciting because turkey rolls used to be around before, and then they kind of faded away. Now they're coming back again. So Marilyn McKinnon is chairing this one, and her sister runs a very successful one in Hamilton with all the proceeds for Special Olympics. She's coming up, and she's bringing how many people?
I think 5 or 6 people, yeah.
That work on theirs down there to kind of guide us through the first one to make sure we really know what we're doing. And you know, if people are interested in volunteering, then let one of us know, and if there's a spot for you, we'll certainly put you in, because we do need a number of people. We'll have runners on the floor selling the tickets and that type of thing.
You mentioned that your clubhouse is, your club station, I guess, is in the mall. Whereabouts? I've been in the mall a few times, and I haven't actually come across it.
You come in the entrance by Food Basics.
Okay, that's
and
why.
I think, I'm trying to remember what was there. I think it was a vitamin, a health food.
Oh, right, at the
GNC
corner.
maybe?
Right, it's in kind of tucked in that corner.
Right beside the record shop.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes.
I definitely know where the record shop is in the mall. I've been there a few times.
I get to the bookstore.
Before the bookstore.
No,
If you come in Food Basics.
It's Food Basics, yes. Well, I come in the other way, and that's why I don't always go around to Food Basics. So, okay, now I know where you are, in that little corner for Food Basics. Okay.
And I was going to say, if people want any more information, either on the turkey roll or the Kiwanis Music Festival, because it starts, I don't remember the exact date, it's in April. Go on the website and there'll be contact names. And if you've never gone to the music festival to hear the participants, you're really missing out on an opportunity. It's really quite something.
Well, the fact that it's been going for 92 years.
Mm-hmm.
April 15th and 16th are the dates for this year, the 92nd event, as Mary Jane mentioned. Let's talk a bit more about the event. This is open, anybody can go and attend the event, can buy tickets for the event when they go on sale?
You're talking about the turkey roll?
No, about the actual music festival itself in April.
I don't know a whole lot about that. You do have to register, and I'm not sure when registration cuts off. And then you go.
It was last week.
Then I think there's a little bit of an overlap. It costs you a little more for the registration, but anybody can go. They usually post. I would say the best thing to do would be check the website, and they'll have the different classes, as they call them, listed, so you can go and listen to them.
Okay.
But yeah, so we would really appreciate your support for the turkey roll so that we can pass all this money off to the music festival to keep them going and keep more children involved in it.
Well, I think it's really essential for our youth to follow their passions and have the opportunity to be able to explore the music genre in any way and develop their skills and talents. Music is one of the essential learning tools. The younger the children are that become engaged in music, it stimulates so much growth within them and their educational aspirations as well.
And it's such a perfect opportunity for them to build their skills and to build their confidence, because everybody needs an audience, whether they realize it at first or not. And you see some of these young children up there with their, well, I think it was the last year, there were two young girls in one of the choirs, and they were actually starting to cry. They were so nervous. But then once they got started, then you could just see the change in them. So. Eric, you better say something.
I was just saying the Kiwanis Club, the mandate behind, like the mission behind the whole Kiwanis organization, internationally as well as locally, is about children. Okay, trying to help them in any way possible. If anybody is interested in the Kiwanis Club on a local basis, doing some volunteering, again, stopping by the booth at the mall that we've discussed, or contacting a Kiwanis member. We would love to have you. We bring you in for some introductory meetings to see how things work. And then it's a lot of fundraising around and some camaraderie. And, we have a good variety of ages as members of the local Kiwanis Club now. So it's more open to younger people, where in the past it was a lot of gray hair.
It's a lot more flexible.
A lot better. It's a lot flexible. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, we're a lot more flexible.
Do you have an age at which people can join, or do you have to be 18 or 16 or 18?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't really know. I would think it's more geared, though, because there are clubs, for instance, the Key Club, which is part of Kiwanis, is high school aged, and then there is one that's college, for college age students. And actually we're going to be having someone come up to speak in May 30th about the different clubs in the schools. So it's all part of our service leadership program, so you kind of work your way up. And it's amazing. When I was lieutenant governor, I used to go to some of the conventions, and to hear individuals stand up and speak about how they first got started in high school or in college, and how it led on, and how they got so involved with volunteering and being able to help.
One of the things in my heritage, is my grandparents were, I think it was Kiwanis that they were involved in, and we're going back many decades here. I just don't want to age myself too much, but my sisters and I would tag along with our grandparents to some of the events and the fundraisers that they were doing. And so we learned about volunteerism from our grandparents to our parents to ourselves, and now we've passed that on to our children too, that you, because it's intergenerational, if you want to bring the youth into volunteering, sometimes it's good to just tag along with a parent or a grandparent.
Yeah, we do a number of things where we get the younger kids involved and kind of open their eyes to it. And we've started doing more partnerships with other service clubs. For instance, we just finished the gift wrapping at the mall over Christmas, and I was chairing that one, and we partnered with the Quota Club. Quota Club did it for years, and now they're like a lot of other service clubs. Their members have kind of all aged out, and they weren't able to do it this year. So I had contacted them and said, why don't we do a partnership? So we did that. We just finished donating to Chapman House for the children's room $3,000. So, you know, that was great. We partner with the Optimist Club in the summer for the bike rodeo downtown that the city police put on in the downtown area. So lots of ways to get younger people involved, but you're right. They need to see what volunteering does.
Mm-hmm. We usually have some younger elves that help out at the Santa Claus parade.
For sure.
Right? That's a great thing. Walk around there downtown Owen Sound and enjoy the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember seeing quite a few of the volunteers that were carrying signs this year at the parade, and it was so well run every year. This was actually my first year to see the Owen Sound parade. It just, timing worked out, and I happened to be downtown with the Roxy Theater, and I got to see it this year. And I got to see Santa, which is always the best thing about it.
Oh yeah, Santa's great.
It's the best part.
I actually had somebody afterwards send me a Facebook message to ask me who Santa was because he had called them by name and they didn't know who he was. It was driving them crazy.
Well, a little while to go before the next parade for sure.
Yeah,
anyway,
I mean,
but
Santa comes fresh from the North Pole, so how would I know who he knows? Maybe they've been bad in their lifetime, and that's why Santa knew their names.
Maybe. Well, Santa's a little ways off, but coming up first, we have the big turkey roll event that's going to be happening on Saturday, March 2nd over at the Owen Sound Legion. Again, tickets are available for $5 in advance, and then, of course, money will be used towards the Kiwanis Music Festival coming up in April. You can get tickets from the Kiwanis location inside Heritage Place Mall.
Okay.
My Uncle Cheney was one of over 150,000 Indigenous children that were taken to residential schools between the 1800s and 1996. My uncle ran away from school wanting to get home to his mom and dad, and sadly he didn't make it and died of exposure. When Gord Downey found out about my late Uncle Cheney's story, he wrote Secret Path, a series of poems that became an album, then a graphic novel, a documentary, and a concert. Gord met my family, and together we formed the Gord Downey and Cheney Winjack Fund. Together, we are sharing Secret Path and other reconciliation resources with legacy schools, setting up legacy spaces across Canada, and hosting events like Secret Path Week to inspire all Canadians to engage in reconciliation. Before he left us, Gord asked us all to do something.
You're gonna figure it out.
Will you join us? Together, we can make Canada a better place.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. Our guest is Chris Doyle. He's with Brightshores Hospital Foundation. Chris, we should probably first let people know Brightshores Hospital Foundation, if people are unfamiliar with what that is a new name for something that people are very familiar with, which is Grey Bruce Health Services.
Yeah, so recently, as many people know, Grey Bruce Health Services underwent a rebrand and is now Brightshores Health System. I'm with the Brightshores Health System Owen Sound Foundation. So if people aren't aware, Brightshores actually has 6 hospitals, including Lions Head, Wyerton, Owen Sound, Markdale, Meaford, and Southampton. We're also opening the new Wellness and Recovery Center here in Owen Sound. So it's quite a large hospital system that incorporates all those different facilities. And there's actually 5 foundations that service the hospital. So there's Southampton, Bruce Peninsula, Owen Sound, which I'm representing, Meaford, and Markdale as well.
All right, so same great healthcare network, same great healthcare, just a new name. That's
right.
All that is.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so a big fundraiser is coming up. This is going to be a ball hockey fundraiser, a celebration.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if we were too clever with the name or just clever enough, but we wanted people to know that we're out to have some fun. Right? It's not too serious. We want to celebrate local healthcare. We want to celebrate the game of hockey. And we want to play some ball hockey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Saturday, May 4th is the date for this event. And it sounds like this is going to be big because you're going to have multiple locations around Owen Sound for this.
Well, so we're going to have 7 rinks is the plan. We've got a company helping us do this. They've done this all over North America. They've done this for NHL teams. If you're familiar with the Spitting Chicklets podcast, which is big in the hockey world, they do a tournament for them every year. So this company knows what they're doing. They're actually going to create these rinks in Owen Sound with real rink boards. They're 40 feet wide by 100 feet long, and you're going to be playing ball hockey in these rinks with referees and have a great time.
Yeah, we were just showing some images on the screen there, and I think I've played in something like this before back in the old, I think it was the Play On Ball Hockey tournament days down in London going back about 10, 15 years. So I can say from someone that's participated, they are so much fun to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody grew up playing ball hockey, right? And, you're always worried about shouting car to your buddies and pulling the nets off to the side of the road, and there's going to be none of that. Like, you're going to be able to score on your goalie, bounce it off the boards, do a huge celly afterwards, and just have a great time.
And all ages, all skill levels are welcome to participate?
Yeah, everybody's welcome. The way that it's structured right now, we've got multiple age divisions. So there's an under 11, under 13, under 15, and adult. We've split it up so there's competitive and recreational in each age group so that everybody can play, no matter if you're AAA or just like to play in your driveway. You can come out and have a great time and really enjoy the day and support local healthcare.
Yeah, so you won't have to worry about it if it's just you and a couple of your beer league buddies. You show up and 3 members of the Owen Sound attack are at the other end and go, I guess we're losing this one today. And you don't have to worry about that with the different divisions.
Yeah, there's a spot for everybody to come out and have a great time.
All right. Is there any caps on registration, on the amount of teams that you can have?
Great question. So with 7 rinks, full tournament's going to be about 66 teams. So we've got lots of space right now, but it could fill up pretty easily. So we're asking people to put their team in, sign up, and raise some money for the hospital.
What is the fee?
That's a great question.
To register.
So the base registration fee is $500. That gets you 7 team memberships, so a team of 7. 3 guaranteed games for the day, plus the possibility of playoffs. On top of that, at the event, there's a lot of we've got like hardest shot with radar guns, so you can see how hard your slap shot is and your wrist shot, and skill shooting. There's going to be music and lots of stuff going on down at the event that day. Yeah.
Will there be any coaching tips or any workshops on developing? I don't know how to play ball hockey. There was a ball hockey game in front of my house for 15 years with all the neighborhood kids. And yes, they had to call car because it was on the road. But are there skill tips on playing ball hockey, or is it just kind of like knowing how to play hockey?
I think right now it's just kind of come as you are and have a great time. And, you know, if you're not the best player, there's still a spot for you, and that's okay. Yeah.
I have some tips, actually. If you're my age, if you're in your now early 40s and you're going to be going out, you're going to want to have Robaxacet. You're going to want Tiger Balm available. You're going to want to have lots of water. Water is what I said, not the other stuff, because you're going to want to hydrate properly to survive.
Oh,
there you
I
go.
see. Okay.
Those are the tips, Mary Jane.
We'll add that to the website.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good idea. And I understand my brother-in-law always had to tape himself up, you know, so I guess there's some kind of bandage thing that happens before you get out on the floor with the ball.
Yeah. So the nice thing too is, you know, not a huge amount of equipment required. You need a stick, maybe some gloves. Some people might want to wear some shin pads. The younger kids do have to wear helmets, and goalies have to wear gear, but you know, it is, as opposed to maybe an ice hockey tournament, it is super accessible to more people. So.
And if, let's say that, for example, this event sells out, and I think it's likely to, given that Owen Sound is very much a hockey town, what's the goal for fundraising for the day?
Yeah, of course. We've set a goal. You know, it's year one. We're not sure where things are going to land, but we're hoping, you know, $50,000 to $100,000 for the day. Given the size, you know, the number of people, and just how generous our community is. You know, we know that people, when they get involved, really can drum up a lot of money. So we believe that it's going to be a great day.
And are there any celebrities confirmed yet? I know it's still a little bit in advance, and obviously in early May, probably even tough to get commitment from like the Owen Sound Attack, because they still might be in the playoffs at that point.
Yeah, so the Attack, dude, that could be a playoffs, but we have confirmed Cubby. So if you're a Cubby fan, he'll be around. And I'm remiss, I haven't mentioned yet, the whole event is being presented by Bruce Power and their suppliers. So we want to give them a huge shout out and say thank you to Bruce Power and their suppliers for, you know, stepping up and presenting this event.
That's a good point. Any other shout outs we need to give for whether it's volunteers or people that are making, other sponsors maybe that are making this event a reality?
You know, at this point, sponsorship is open and ongoing, and there are some great commitments. There's a lot of logistics involved, and Sunbelt has stepped up and donated a forklift so that we can put these rinks together, and different pieces are all coming together. If people are interested in sponsoring, you know, there's a great opportunity to put your logo up on those boards for the day and have everyone playing and everyone spectating see that you're, you know, supporting the hospital and the community.
Yeah, we like the advertisements on the boards. Yeah, that's really important. But it's amazing the way our community does come together to support fundraising events. This is a foundation, and the foundation does a lot of really incredible things. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the foundation itself does?
Yeah, of course. So the foundation supports the hospital in three main ways. We raise funds to support three things, I should say. So that's the new equipment purchases. The big one that just happened that people might know about is the new MRI that just went in. It's incredible that our community hospital has 2 MRIs running side by side right now. It's phenomenal for a community of our size. It just shows you how big our hospital system really is and what it's able to achieve. The other one is renovations. So they just did a renovation in the emergency room to make that more patient friendly, to make the flow better. They've added in some new kid friendly activities and furniture, because we all know how difficult it is with you know, a sick 3-year-old in the emergency room and trying to get them settled. And the other one is staff training and education. So the foundation makes a commitment to help provide funds so that staff can get the training and education outside of the norm, so that they can improve their skills, so that they can uptrain and move into higher positions, and that we can really not only recruit new staff, but also support the staff that are here in succeeding and providing great health care for the community.
Well,
Go ahead. I was going to say, you mentioned some of the big projects, like the MRI, for example, and these are major projects that can sometimes take years for communities to fundraise, and it's so amazing that they've, especially with the project in Southampton, that they were able to get to the finish line so quickly. But it amazes me that aside from the big stuff, even the little stuff hospital foundations have to pay for it. Is there a dollar amount? I can't remember if there was one, but pretty much everything has to be paid for by a hospital foundation. There's no government funding that buys a lot of even the little things that you'll find in an operating room.
Yeah, so the government really takes care of the staffing and the wages and sort of, keeping that stuff running. But in terms of equipment and what's being used, the spaces, that's all on the community. So yeah, I'm going to mention we raised the multi-million-dollar items like an MRI. We recently did a campaign to get vital signs monitors as well. So, just the things that are checking your pulse and your oxygen and the day-to-day stuff that's super essential and helps the nurses and make sure that everything is running and efficient. Software is another big one that people might not think of. We all know how frustrating it is at your office if something's not working and how much stuff runs on software now in the hospital and how vital that can be to efficient, effective healthcare as well. So, yeah, we're You can phone us Monday to Friday, 8 to 4, 8 to 5. We're there every day. We can take donations over the phone. You can walk in and see us. We're right by central registration. We'd love to have a visit and see your friendly face and have a chat. And it can be, we accept all kinds of donations. So whether that's cash, check, stocks and securities. If you're interested in leaving a gift in your will, we can help you set up your estate, give you some advice about how a charitable gift in your estate looks as well. So it's the whole spectrum. We appreciate everything from, $20 all the way up to the other side of the scale as well. Yeah. It all counts and it all builds to something fantastic for our community.
Well, we're great, my family. My husband and I are supporters of the hospital, and we make a contribution every year because it's an anchor in our community and an essential service, and we always want it to be there for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well, to tie it back, one of the things that we've been saying about ball hockey is that, having Brightshores Health System, this sort of healthcare system that really punches above, maybe what you'd expect to have here, is a real home ice advantage for our community, right? Because we all know how great it is to play on the home rink, to not have to make that big road trip, to not have to go down and get care in London or Barrie or Toronto, to bring those specialists and that equipment, have 2 MRIs, have multiple CTs, have specialists here in our area. So that's kind of the way we've been looking at it through the hockey lens, but I think that, ties back to what you were saying as well.
Well, I think the other thing too is as we age, and we are in an aging community, we don't want to drive to other communities. We would really look forward to the services, who can we access locally, rather than having 2-3 hours or a full day in another community in order to have a health service.
And one of the things that I think, Brightshores is doing, which is amazing, and the information about this is still getting out there, people are still learning about it, but they've launched this new Office of Research and Innovation. And so that's really geared towards doing research locally. And the big thing they're looking at is, how do we create better outcomes and services for seniors? How do we create new services that can work remote in our community? Because we do know, this is a hospital system that goes from Markdale to Lion's Head, so it's a big area, and how do we make sure that everyone is looked after and can get services, even if that's something like how does Zoom work, or how does new wearable technologies work. They're exploring all these new things that they can research here in our area that will benefit our community. So,
wow.
Are there any services that Brightshores is working on right now that people still have to travel for, that they'd really like to get those healthcare pieces back locally? Like, for example, if it's an endoscope, then you've got to go to London to get it done. Is there something that there's a goal right now? It's like, we're going to make sure we get this equipment so that people don't have to drive anymore? I know that's kind of a big question.
That's a great question. I might not have an answer for you
on
that one, just off the top of my head, but fantastic question. I know they're always looking at that kind of stuff, and their future planning. They're going through big plans right now on how to sort of, chart the next 10 years of what can we build and what can we bring and what can we have locally. So I think they're always thinking about that, but to pull out one example, yeah.
Is there something for you as someone that's with the foundation where you're just like, I am so happy that we got this done, that we raised this money, that we bought this piece of equipment? Is there a success story that you're really proud of that the foundation has accomplished?
Yeah, I think, one of the things that I love the fact that we have 2 MRIs, the fact that the Southampton Foundation was so successful and put that CT in Southampton, those big services. But the stuff I think I'm most proud of and that I love to see people support is the smaller stuff that we don't always think of. So those vital signs monitors that help the patients and help the nurses. We just got new workstations for all the nurses that are more ergonomic, easier to use, better workspace for them. So the stuff that's gonna help people every day do their jobs a little bit better and help improve that patient care and let the staff spend more time with patients is the stuff that, the big exciting stuff everybody's excited about and is obviously super exciting, but the small stuff too that people can forget about, I think, deserves a place in our hearts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. As someone that's, I think my record for having to drive for healthcare is 7 hours. So knowing that we've got world-class facilities, world-class staff, all of it right here in our community, it's an amazing thing to have.
It is, and I grew up, I'm not from Owen Sound, but I've been here the last decade and I absolutely love it here. My daughter was born here in the hospital a couple of years ago. The town I grew up in is about the same size as Owen Sound. It's very similar in so many ways. When I was a kid and I broke my arm, I had to travel out of town for 2 hours to go get the surgery, to get everything redone, and so it is kind of special that we have this here, so close, and so many services available in our community.
All right. Well, the best, one of the best ways to support the healthcare and the quality that we have is going to be with the Celebration Bowl Hockey Tournament. Again, coming up Saturday, May 4th, the logo you can see on your screen there. Very exciting to have all of these facilities that are going to be built specifically for this tournament. Registration is open now. Again, Chris, where can people register for it?
Yeah, brightshoresfoundation.ca/Sally is probably the easiest place to go to register, but if anyone has any questions, they can always give us a call, and I'm happy to talk anyone through it.
All right, and if there's any teams out there that, I'm just going to say now, based on the date, Saturday, May 4th, I fully expect someone's going to be out there in Star Wars gear. I expect the whole team.
I'll welcome it.
All right, perfect. Chris, thank you so much for being here to tell us more about this, and stay tuned. We've got Renee coming up from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter.
I'm Mayor Ian Boddy. If you want to understand the decisions being made about your community, please join us on Rogers TV Cable 53 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. or online at rogerstv.com to watch the Owen Sound City Council. You can also read our agendas and reports or watch replays of meetings at owensound.ca. We hope you'll stay informed and we hope you'll tune in. Thanks.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next show, where my guest will be Rick Byers, MPP for Bruce Grey, Owen Sound. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. I have a feeling that Mary Jane is going to ask to switch chairs here so she can get a closer look at our next guest. Renee is here from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter. And Renee, who have you brought today?
Well, maybe a dog for Mary Jane. I'm hoping. Do we need to move you closer? This little fella actually doesn't have a name.
Oh, I've always given names out. I'm still thinking, but he reminds me so much of, a soft leather glove.
Oh,
a nice,
my goodness, your name just became Leather Glove.
No.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. That's exactly what he is.
Just beautiful.
He is only 4 months of age.
Oh.
This is a Mastiff, we think, Shepherd mix. And so you can imagine this is going to be a quite large dog. In saying that, our adoptions of the big dogs are kind of bad right now. And he actually is here representing the many others that we have at the shelter. He also has a sister who didn't come with me because she's a little more nervous than him, if you can imagine. They have lived in a basement, so we have spent the last couple of weeks introducing them to people and the car and the leash, and he's doing quite well with that. But as you can see, he's a little nervous. He's very, very smart and very interested, and he's going to bond incredibly well with someone. The ideal home for him would actually be with a couple as opposed to children, only because I feel like he wants to attach. We spent some time in the green room and he sat under my legs the entire time. I mean, he does know me, but we're not really that close that he should be bonding like that, which is okay, I like it. I feel he's going to need people that he can bond with. Now, that doesn't mean he can't bond when there's children. I just think he would really like to have his own people all to himself. A single person would be great as well. I mean, really, just anybody, take him. He is, again, going to be a large dog. The good news is the Mastiff, which is predominantly what he is not a very high energy dog, so he should stay quite settled. I mean, JC, you know the dogs we've had in here as of lately, the young ones have been kind of off the walls. He is definitely not. I think he's sort of past that stage, at least with his age, and additionally with the breed, he's going to be a little on the quieter side. And saying that, he's still going to be big and still have energy, but not like your Border Collie or your hounds that we had. It's more of a short exercise session as opposed to an all-day one, which is kind of nice. He is not much of a barker, are you? Hey, you've seen all these people and you didn't bark one time, thank goodness, huh? He is not going to be that guy, but he is going to let you know when somebody's at the door, for sure, right? Once you get settled in your house. He's had his vaccines, he's been dewormed and defleed, and we have started crate training him. Again, because of where he came from, he's not had a whole lot of additional training, but we're working on it. And we certainly hope somebody has got a lot of time who takes him so that he ends up being a good boy, right? Right. See, she can't really see you, and she's the one we wanted to see you. Hey? Could you give her the sad face, maybe cry for her and tell her you're homeless and tell her that, big dogs are a little less adoptable right now and that you're sad? Tell her all of those things.
You have to.
He's doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it with his eyeballs.
Brown eyes.
He's doing it with the eyeballs. Good work. Good work. Maybe your name should be Brown Eyes.
Renee, you mentioned that he represents many that are at the shelter right now. How many are at the shelter right now?
So we mentioned before that the shelter takes in a lot of dogs from police calls and hospital calls where their owners can't care for them. Majority of our dogs right now are those dogs, which takes up space. But all of the other dogs I have that are available, and I probably have 8 or 9 of them at the moment, are all 70 pounds plus, except for my puppies, which are going to be that anyway. We do have a wait list, of course, for small dogs, and of course we're still getting them, so let's not forget about those. But if you are somebody who has the space for a larger dog, we're sort of in a crisis. The world we're living in right now, things are a little more costly. It's more money to vet them, it's more money to feed them. We're seeing an increase in people wanting little dogs, and we're seeing a decrease in the big dogs. We used to adopt them out quite easy because people had farms and country homes and busy lifestyles, and they wanted the dog to go hiking. We're not seeing so much of that. The good news is we're a no-kill shelter. Nothing's going to happen to these guys, but it's important that they move to have others come in. And we have a wait list, a big one.
And
a big one, a big one of big dogs. So it would be ideal, you know, if you're considering not even just our shelter, all shelters right now are quite full of these big dogs. And like, for example, we have an Akita, we have 2 Mastiff mixes, adult dogs, and we have a Husky, a Lab mix, and a Shepherd mix. So that's just off the top of my head. All big dogs.
And Renee, when you talk about, you know, you're looking at increased bills for vets, increased bills for food, you're not trying to dissuade people from getting a big dog.
No.
You're just trying to get people to recognize there is a reality here when you're taking in a larger animal.
The reality is I don't want you to adopt him and 6 months from now go, oh no, I can't afford to feed him. We want you to think of, because I don't want to see him again. It's not that I don't love him. I don't want to see him again. It's actually far, far harder for the dog and far, far harder for us too to see them returned. Our job is changing a little bit. We're seeing a lot of surrenders out of people who care as opposed to the other way around, and it's merely they're struggling, and that's a heartbreaker for all of us. So certainly make sure you're considering all of those things as time goes on. Now it's not that much more money, if I can be honest. Those little dogs are pretty active. They eat a lot because they're so active. I mean, but there is a difference, and it needs to be considered. Yeah, that's the sad face. Put it that way. Put it that way. Put it that way. She likes dog walks. She likes to go for walks, and she'll take you to the beach. Give her the face. Give her the face. That's a beautiful face. That's perfect. That is perfect. That's the face we wanted him to make. There you go.
For the past 5 years, when Roger and I were co-hosting here, Renee's goal was to make sure I went home with the dog.
Still unsuccessful.
And how many do you have now?
No, unsuccessful. I don't have any. We came close a couple of times. I still have a picture of Grover.
Grover was the one. We should call you Grover. You'd be in. Or, you do kind of look like an Elmo. Maybe she's got a Sesame Street thing. You want to be Elmo? No. What do you? That's it. Give her the face.
Anytime Renee came by the radio station, it was also a challenge not to take home the animal, but luckily, in most cases, the animal found a home pretty quickly, as they do with the animals featured here, and we hope that it's the same story for this guy who we haven't named yet.
I hope so. Clifford, that's what I would call him.
And Renee, if people are looking for information on this guy or on any of the other animals that you have, or if they want to get on a wait list, what's the best way to do that?
Give us a call for sure. That is the best way to reach us. You can certainly find us through Facebook and the webpage and the Instagram, but the phone call is your best, fastest method. Also should quickly mention, if you're interested in dog walking, big dogs, call me, because we need those too.
All right. Well, get your step count up and help support the animals at the Owen Sound Animal Shelter. Renee and yet to be named dog.
Yep.
Looks like a Merle to me. How about Merle?
Looks like a shadow to me.
Shadow.
Merle, shadow. That's a good one too. Thank you so much for coming in this week, and thank you for tuning in this week to Grey County Life on Rogers TV.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I still remember the games, the laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the challenges.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
I'll never forget the help we needed. How far we've come.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead.